Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting, innovative, and amazing Propagandacast from your host, Imperial Dane, the one, the only master propaganda hero, like defender of the fatherland of here to 1v1 own. You guessed it is Milo Road. In the north, it is Clora, fighting for the Red Army, the South Union, Communist Darling, and the 7th Guards Mechanized Corps, tasked with breaking through the lines in towards Berlin. In the south, it is Eisernes Kreuz, fighting here for the Wehrmacht, Germany, Deutschland. Here with the Kampfgruppe Müller, the Luftwaffe Supply, Spearhead and Lightning War. We got a double gunneer start versus a fairly unorthodox triple engineer study for Clora into a support company start. He's definitely not going for average meta. I mean, he's not even got motor. It's anti-infantry, tank hunter, and armored assault. So, as always, a big hearty thanks to my Patreon supporters who keep the Propagandacast running with their hard-earned monthly pledges. A big thanks to all those other people who follow the heroic example by pledge on Patreon and earn my undying gratitude. Link in the video description. So, west side, we got Pioneers coming up here. 3rd Grenadier Squad here in the east. It's Bomb Company there up. So, we'll have to be going for. I'm guessing it's going to involve Maxims, but beyond that, it is definitely a bit unclear. There we go, Maxim all the way there. 3rd Grenadier Squad here for Eisernes Kreuz. Clearly not aware of what he's about to run into. So, meanwhile, Trollineers does allow here. Clora, you might notice, to grab a lot of terrain here in the early game. They're cheap, they're fast, you can get out a bunch of them quickly if you want to. Of course, they're not super effective in the long run as infantry, obviously. But again, they can help you grab a lot of terrain. He's clearly intending to grab a lot of terrain and then try and hold it with the Maxims. So the question is, of course, he's going to be a bit vulnerable to light vehicles with this kind of build because he will have absolutely no snares, there's no anti-tank rates, nothing. So the question is, how does he anticipate of dealing with that? Will it be, I don't know, anti-infantry with the assault guards, bazookas? Tank hunter tactics with anti-tank conscripts? I don't know. Like, I'm not entirely sure what his game plan here is. Of course, it does require that Eisernes Kreuz figures out what exactly Clora is up to. And until that, I mean, you know, we'll have to see. 4th Grenadier Squad here so far. First Max now being hauled to the front line, secure in the centre that he's attempting to. Up north, Grenadiers Pioneers moving in here. 4th Grenadier Squad there slowly arriving. And Eisernes Kreuz is probably just trying to figure out what on earth Clora is doing there. Go 2nd Max machine gun here. Grenadiers falling it back. Maxim in the centre still there, sort of just watching. North point being seized here by Eisernes Kreuz. No commander yet for him. Second match. Oh, we got Spearhead with mortar, half-tax, Pentax tactician, reconnaissance overflight, fragmentation bombs, and of course the Tiger tank. Steady advance in the centre here now. Needs some Maxims, of course, at this point. Eisernes Kreuz probably has an idea as to what Clora is up to. But of course, the question that becomes, how does he react to this kind of like Maxim heavy build here out of his opponent? Rushing straight for the Maxim here. They're looking to overwhelm it before it can sort of redeploy. Maybe halt his Grenadiers. See, we've got the 2nd Maxim arriving here, of course, to provide the cover. The 1st Maxim desperately needs in the oncoming tide of German infantry here. One squad managed to get into heavy cover, the other one managed to get out of the way, but still apparently not quite in heavy cover there. The wooden cart provide a bit of light cover, push him up for the heavy cover, allowing this to get suppressed for the Maxim, forcing here Eisernes Kreuz Grenadier Squad to retreat already. So at this point, I'm fairly certain Eisernes Kreuz has deduced what's going on here. Again, his opponent's going for a Maxim heavy strategy, and we of course now have to try and take countermeasures to that. He is, I believe, taking up, or has taken up, yes indeed. Meanwhile, Clora here going for the 3rd Maxim. No field guns, and again, no anti-tank infantry at all here to sort of really match whatever counter he's going to go for, which will likely be light vehicle-based. To choose, flame for half-tech can also be quite an effective counter to something like this, you know, burning through the Maxims really, really fast. Even allowing the Eisernes Kreuz to claim them. We'll have to see. Either way, light to mechanized company there going up. Centre seized by the Maxim. Up north, it going to steadily advancing here for the German army. Deutschland. Triple engineers, triple Maxims versus quadruple Grenadiers. And there we go. It is tank hunter tactics with conscript PTRS packages, anti-tank fortifications, ambush tactics, the B4 203mm howitzer, and the IL-2 PTAP anti-tank bombing run. Armoured car there for Mr. Eisernes Kreuz. We do get a conscript here for Clora. I imagine that's going to get equipped with the conscript PTRS package. Good old-fashioned conscript PTSD. So, Pioneers go check for the news on the south here. 5th Grenadier Squad here for Eisernes Kreuz. Interesting response here. The opponent going for a lot of Maxims. He will go for even more infantry. Instead of, like, I don't know, a mortar to maybe at least help mitigate them a bit. So there we go. 2-2 arriving here for Eisernes Kreuz and the Kampfgruppe Müller. Maximing the towards the south. We got Bart Wire in the centre. Machine gun coming north as well here. There, go straight for the car point. Quick deflector here as Eisernes Kreuz armoured car is quick to put an to that. Going to a Maxim. Other Maxim they're covering the centre. Can at least push back. A bit of flamethrower systems as well. South slow approach here by Eisernes Kreuz. Got his only Pioneer Squad equipped with mine sweepers in case, of course, Clora has laid down mines. Which is certainly a fairly healthy assumption to make. I'm guessing with the Conscript Squad here and the anti-tank rifles like the plan, he will be showing munitions here for the Tank Hunter package. Pioneers here flanking the Grenadiers here. Routing the Maxim. Almost got the Maxim there. And we got the Tanko VP Tank Command up here for Clororaa. And the southern point here. Bunker up there for Eisernes Kreuz and the German army. Perhaps he's planning a mortar half against all this. There's a lot of possibilities either way. I mean, Clora is definitely not playing your average Soviet metagame here, so it certainly makes it a bit hard here for Eisernes Kreuz, of course, to figure out a sort of safe counter. In a sense, he's going to have to probably experiment more. Meanwhile, Clora taking ahead here, like a T-70 here to sort of throw at Eisernes Kreuz. But I suppose he could surprise us with an anti-tank, or anti-aircraft half-track. Not an anti-tank aircraft half-track. The Soviets actually did have those very late in the war. Basically, the Americans and the British, once they had actual tank destroyers, of course, had a bunch of anti-tank half-tracks, that is, their early tank destroyers, and shipped them off to the Soviets as a lend-lease. Fun fact, and the Soviets actually used them until the very end of the war. They even saw usage during the attack on Berlin. So, little fun fact there, but there you go. He does actually go for the half-track, but he is equipping his men here with the anti-tank package as well. I mean, it could be he's going to go for a Soviet Twisted Tutsi tactic. He's going to fill the half-track up with anti-tank rifle conscripts. And we do get a mortar half-track here from Eisernes Kreuz. Things are getting half-tracked, eh? North the armored car going from the east up in the northern victory point. Half-track almost done there for Clororaa. He's holding up here. Maximum cost moving forward here. Armored car blast with the Guineas. Pioneers heading for the northern victory point in the south here. We got Grenadiers right up in the Guineas. Mortifying Guineas here to going for the Maxim there. Ripping into them with raw, unrelenting firepower. We got the Guineas moving forward against the Guineas. Almost got them down to one man. Well, they're actually down to one man. They're about to get wiped out. In particular with the mortar half-track joining in. The 250-7. Almost got the Guineas squad here. The Pioneers of the conscripts. Damage on main gun knocked out on the armored car. Moving forward with the Granaten Werferwagen here for Eisernes Kreuz. 1 killed so far. Pioneers flanking the Maxim. Half-track moving forwards. Conscripts shooting back into the base. Smoke deployed around the centre here from the mortar half-track. Hoping to obscure the line of fire the Maxim. But unfortunately, Eisernes Kreuz and Maxim was actually slightly repositioned compared to that. There you go, using the half to reinforce the front line. Thumbs up. Actually, one of the advantages of the surge with the half-tracks. Again, the 6-man weapon crews become even tougher to deal with. And you can just reinforce them at the front line. Fortunately, most players do not actually do this a lot. But it can definitely make a Maxim or field gun much tougher to deal with. In the south here, second wave into pushing forward. See if we do get a pack forward here for Eisernes Kreuz in response to the M5 half-track here out of Clororaa. And so far, he's just seemingly using it to reinforce all of his frontline Maxims. Which again is honestly a pretty savvy idea. Northern victory with the Engineers. We've got mines being laid down here by Clororaa. Nothing further back here in the base of Clororaa. We got the Maxims setting up here, covering the center, just slightly repositioned. Mines as well here. Very good work there for him. Less great for Eisernes Kreuz. Maxims at the small wooden shed there. Shack, I suppose. Northern Engineers moving forwards. Maxim holding up here. 2 kills, close veterans to 1. And there we go. Do get the communist equivalent of the Twisted Tutsi bazooka bus. The anti-tank rifle busky. Gonna need some pushing back the Maxim there. Anti-tank rifle half-track about there. Mortar half-track stuff as well here. Nice use of smoke there to flash out the Maxim. Of course, we got the anti-tank rifle half-track here to block Eisernes Kreuz advance there. Maximum in, mortar off again here from the Granatenwerferwagen. Freshly talked on the center here. Maxim's holding some of the advancing mines as well, causing losses there to Eisernes Kreuz, quickly wearing off. Up north in an attempt to grab the northern field point away from Eisernes Kreuz. Smart exploitation of Clora or Eisernes Kreuz tank south. It's engineers being pushed out. Half-track falling back here as well. A lot of action, a lot of decision being made very rapidly here as both sides going in hard here. Moving up to support the centre maximum against Eisernes Kreuz. Mortar in the south remains where it is. Pack forward moving towards the centre. Great positioning as smoke is going down there. And up north the fuel point has been under neutral, denying Eisernes Kreuz all its precious and most valuable fuel. After moving westwards here. Shifting from hotspot to hotspot here. As the engagement between Eisernes Kreuz and Clora continues. Half-track there, firing away. Closing in on Veterans 1 there on the M5 half-track, moving northwards. Mortar after there, just providing some light fire support here, troop enforcing. Gunnies and Guineas there, pushing them back, MG42 being added. M5 Harcher there being spotted and flanked. Almost taking out their quick speed out of there using the overdrive ability. There we go. Quickly up between fours. Could of course do some repairs there. And I imagine we might see mechanized summer company of Clora leveraging his good map control here against Eisernes Kreuz push yet. Of course, Eisernes Kreuz is himself also taking up here, knowing he must push for the Panzers as soon as possible. I like the fairly consistent use of smoke here by Eisernes Kreuz, even if Clora is doing a fairly good job there of shifting around his maxims to make it slightly less effective here. Thumbs up to both sides here, in fact 2 thumbs up overall. And there you go, fight with a regular barrage, very nice, though not quite on target. 2-2 moving up here. Got the other Maxim coming up here. Northern Victor Point Logical might be a great idea to grab here for Eisernes Kreuz as soon as possible. Gunnies still suppressed. Smoke deployed now in the Maxim, I imagine. Back here, the tech is almost done there for Eisernes Kreuz and the Kampfgruppe Müller. Quick smoke deployment here. Gunnies following up. Conscripts Maxim there. Half-track moving in again. And of course, immediately just reinforcing the front line. Again, it really provides you with a sort of nice advantage here, in particular for, factions with already larger teams. I mean, for the Grenadiers, it's nice, but 6-man Maxim, 6-man conscripts with this kind of thing, that is really good. T-34 some 6 on the way there, though, for Clora. Bring in the medium army here versus Eisernes Kreuz. Gonna make things certainly even tougher here. That said, might have slipped up here, gonna get Pantherfaust and Impact. This is going to be NT of Clora's M5 half-track, a small beneath Eisernes Kreuz and the German army even lost several conscripts as they forgot to put on the seatbelts. Never mind that seatbelts hadn't been invented by then. Tragic. Mortar after they're about to get knocked out if not careful. That's going to be a great little revenge there for Clora. They could take out here Eisernes Kreuz mortar half-track. There you go. Did get it out of there, but now the T-34 from 6 is here to enact revenge for all the fallen comrades. Maxim being hammered here meanwhile, though, not looking great. Then Clora is very quick to pull it back. They once you realise the situation forward, it's turning very heavily pear-shaped. Still no support call here, though, for Eisernes Kreuz, going straight for the Maxim here. T-34 at 76 rolling ahead here. Northern points being grabbed here, secured for the glory of Deutschland. There going to need Maxim holding out of there. Unina caught here with the T-34 on 6 as Clora strikes with the fury of 1,000 hammers and sickles. More traffic hanging back here, armoured car moving a bit about. Now until they're going in the base of Eisernes Kreuz. No support call yet. Guessing he's going to go for Panther Force here to match Clora's T-34 76. Could of course also go for Stug. We shall see what he does decide upon. The faster you can get something to keep that T-34 from 6 in check, I would say the better here for Eisernes Kreuz, as that always can really do some heavy damage to his infantry. It's already managed 3 kills. Contra grab the centre, mortify up north here. Further north, maximum grab the far northern victory point here. There we go, Supoma caught for Eisernes Kreuz, an attempt at stalling up for something bigger. A thumbs up to that. I do think that would have been a bit of a questionable idea here versus Clora. And using vehicle detection on the conscripts is exceedingly rare, but of course allows him to spot up with the armoured car the mortar uptick is, and of course theoretically like any other tanks as if his opponent might be going for, so definitely pretty sneaky play there. Thumbs up. 2 almost knocked out by the T-34 from 6. Second pack forward here for him. They could also go for the Panther 4 now. Definitely should. Yeah, there we go. Panzerkampfangfehr there for Eisernes Kreuz and the German army. And he's going for the Engineers here. Southeast. Engineers creeping a bit about here. Could try and sneak up here through the southern path here. Up beneath the bridge. Sneak up there, I suppose. Second T-34 from 6. Of course, Clora looking to leverage one of the great advantages, which is a lot of cheap tanks. Panda 4 there is roughly halfway done here for Eisernes Kreuz and the German army. Victory points wise, Clora enjoying a strong victory point lead of Eisernes Kreuz here so far. Definitely imagine something Eisernes Kreuz may want to get under control here soon. This could get very uncomfortable for him very fast. There we go, T-34 and absolutely snipes Ulrich there into oblivion. Panda 4 almost done. And looking to remove that piece of shrubbery. Jürgen, yeah, you see that bush over there? Yeah, I want it gone. That, I don't know, shoot at it. It feels like a waste of ammunition. I don't care, shoot it. Straight on mine, smoke the engineers. Probably assuming there was a maximum in there, either way. Savvy. Up north here, though, push going in there at the same time. Counter in the south is going to wipe. That's going to do. See if Eisernes Kreuz does not withdraw them now. And yeah, it might actually be too late now. The T-34 from 6 with just the amount of DPs it has can quickly wipe them. Good work there by Clora. Definitely less solid there for Eisernes Kreuz. Excellent community squad, just otherwise wiped for no good reason. T-34 is going for that exposed pack 40 here, and with no real support, it's actually in a really bad spot because he's not going to try and set up. The T-34 is just going to drive past it, so I mean, no matter what, this pack 40 unless it gets immediate support is actually in a lot of trouble, or I suppose Clora just willingly withdraws. Meanwhile, more grenadiers if Eisernes Kreuz replace once lost. Anti-tank conscripts here, going head against the armoured car and the mortar half-track. Panther up north there with a damaged engine. Looks like he wants that half-track dead and the 2-2. Of course, you also got the pack 45 to the rear here, getting a bit chaotic, a bit hazy here. Got the 2-2 here, avoid losing the T-34 from 6, so the conscripts are taking an absolute beating and a half. In fact, they're about to get wiped out. Which also means Clora has no infantry left. T-34 from 6 almost wiped out. Panther forming ahead here. There we go, wiped. Clora's only conscript squad. Going for more engineers. No, going for conscripts again.
Our opponents are seizing a sector.
He's grabbing the southern points. First grenadier squad out here for Eisernes Kreuz versus Clora. Max and they're getting absolutely pummeled with furious firepower here of the Fatherland's armoured ranks. 6 kills on that Panther already so far. T-34 from 6 they're about. Other one, of course, in serious need of some repairs. Got 238 from 462. Eisernes Kreuz still needs to work on those victory points, but he's definitely at least managed to sort of buy some time there, stall it out. Sure he doesn't beat up too fast either. Mindset off there with the Panther 4. Probably sorted over the Pioneers and the Minesweepers. Back here for Clora, not much else going on. Conscript going up there, and again, anti-tank obviously for Clora. Will he go for more infantry? This is just going to be that one conscript squad. Definitely not an amount of infantry I'm comfortable with. Of course, he's probably just using the Maxims as infantry. Again, 6-man machine gun teams there. You know, can to an extent work like that, I suppose. Certainly it's not something I'd advise. He's holding up here. What will Eisernes Kreuz next goal be? More Panther Force? Tiger Stall? Who knows? He did also lose the mortar half-track, by the way, so that's a pretty good series of kills there then for Clora, removing both the mortar half-track and the armoured car. That's going to be a bit of a harsher blow here to Eisernes Kreuz. In particular, the mortar half-track and, of course, the artillery support it provided, in particular smoke, is definitely going to be a bit tough to replace here for Eisernes, Kreuz, east under current circumstances. Not impossible, but not quite as neat there. Telemines up here, thumbs up. Northern victory point and center one falling here. We can see there, Clora keeps up excellent victory point pressure here on Eisernes Kreuz, and he sees something about it. So far, he's just shooting more hedges. More telemines here, clearly concerned about T-34 Russia C. He's looking to make these much more difficult and much more painful for his opponent. Not a bad idea, but I do think his priority probably should be more than just, gaining some victory points. All mine sets it off. He needs to push back. He almost got on the wipe too. He may have given away in part, the telemines from Eisernes Kreuz. T-34 lets 76 landing good hit on the Panther 4. Panther 4 misses, and we do get an HE-5 now for Clora, so not just T-34s, but also some Soviet tank destroyers, and we do get more infantry out of Clora, and it's even more anti-tank rifles. Good golly. Like, typically most Soviet players like again to go for a mix of infantry and single anti-tank conscript squad, but Clora is just going only for anti-tank conscript squads as infantry. Can't say I've seen that one very often. Issue 5 almost done, season this of the Maxim, at least it does bring up to more infantry, and we got another Panzer IV Eisernes Kreuz and another Maschinengewehr. But actually a Maschinengewehr, not another one, and he never had one in the first place until now. More mines going off. Very thorough mining by Clora, for sure. The victory points wise, Eisernes Kreuz, needs to catch up. Second Panther 4 there, halfway done. MG4 almost done as well there. Maxim East level. Pretty good there by Clora, but about to get snuffed out here. There we go. Maxim crew exterminated. The veterancy is lost for now. T-34 is going for a southern flank here against Eisernes Kreuz. Second Panther 4 is almost done here. Got the East tank from another angle. Contributing straight into the Grenadiers line of fire. They're definitely taking a bit of a pasting here in the south. T-34 there breaks through, but it's taking a lot of damage, and there's a good chance, yep, it gets knocked out. Not entirely sure what Clora was hoping to achieve with that, but in the end, all he achieved was one burning T-34. Other one pulling out here, no telemines here, thinking the way there, so his T-34 from 6 is safe. Would have been quite the blow there for Clora to lose both his T-34 from 6s in short succession here. Well, he seemed like things at least worked with him that far. Maxim there's about to get wiped out though by the Panther 4 again. Other one there could do some light repairs, but I think could also join the fight. Clora now starting to bring in some Swedish and field guns. It's only a matter of time really. Fighting the Maxim there. Good return hit from the should find the Panther 4. Other Panther 4 coming in now, joining in the fight. We're trying to advance on the field point, but otherwise I do think his priority should be on those victory points. Down to 144. While his opponent continues to have like 462 victory points. That is a significant gap. Field on the way there. Into the Maxim. Just being hammered here. By the T-34 from 6. T-34 falling back. Forcing the engineers, trying to move about there. Did also lose a conscript squad again. Kreuz definitely seemed to have hit a few speed bumps now against Eisernes Kreuz. Again, he still has the victory point lead, so he might be able to win on this. On the other hand, if he gets a bit too eager, this could be easily exploited by Eisernes Kreuz, at which point Clora could find himself back on the defense here, and perhaps in a really bad position that could be difficult to recover from. As for Eisernes Kreuz, will be more Panther 4, so it'll be the next tier. Who knows for now, but so far he holds a lot of the advantages of the field, just not the victory point advantage. Clora bring up more T-34s from 6s. An excellent addition. Meanwhile, his remaining one in the field is making quite an impact down the German Grenadiers with its main gun and machine guns. Pack 4 being held forward here, very close to SE2. Field gun is theoretically at the ready to bombard it, alongside any other sources of firepower here. No response from the field crew whatsoever. Maybe we should bombard it? Nah, it's someone else's problem. Forcing healing here, instead of being so far just defended by Clora's machine gun and tank destroyer. Up north, he's routed. We got 126 versus 156, so he's slightly been able to bleed out here, Clora, but there's still a long way to go for Eisernes Kreuz. Air recons here, got plenty of munitions, could consider some more mines himself, but for now, trying to scout out what his opponent's up to, maybe explode it with a good fragmentation bomb. That could leave Clora in a really bad place. Yep, straight in the center here. What is his angle though? And there you go, going for a classic diagonal angle there. In this case though, largely dodged nicely and easily by Clora. I feel like he might have it a bit too obvious the way he did it. Ended up being just 180 munitions straight down the toilet. And for the moving forwards. And of course, in comparison, Clora does have the anti-tank bombing run, but perhaps not quite any viable targets for it yet. North here, T-Foot full strength again as Eisernes Kreuz puts most of his stuff towards the center. That does mean the northern flank here is more exposed to armored assaults. In the south, another attempted to break through with Clora. The other T-Foot force been dispatched there for a southern run. And a maximum crew gets wiped out again here by Eisernes Kreuz hardened grenadiers. And this time he actually sees that we got a third Panzer IV here for Eisernes Kreuz, just more Panzer IVs. Certainly a very sensible strategy there. No argument on that one. And this was the T-34 some 6. Good hit from the Pack 40 there on the T-34. T-34's hanging back. Third Panzer IV almost done. Got these maximum crowd in the center. T-34 moving up here slowly. Gonna use as the conscripts, a bit of light probing, and we got the third Panzer IV ready for Eisernes Kreuz. That's a total of 3 of them versus Clora's 2 T-34s and initiative 5. Maxim there, German that is in trouble here with the T-34 some 6 and the third Maxim. Almost got the Maxim there wiped. South Panther pushing forward, backed up at the MG42, can use the falling bit back kick. T-34 on these, bit blocked up. Bit risky versus those T-34, some 6s, one good hit could leave a lot of Eisernes Kreuz grenadiers quite dead. But fortunately for now, these Eisernes Kreuz, that has yet to really transpire such a lucky hit here. Engineers in the south, meanwhile, are definitely running out of luck as they're getting absolutely annihilated here by Eisernes Kreuz. Got 124 versus 127, still, Clora keeps splitting out Eisernes Kreuz. Again, Kreuz needs to regain those victory points soon. In fact, he's about to lose his northern one, at which point the bleeding will once more be back at high intensity versus Eisernes Kreuz and the Germans. And another T-34 of Clora, more tanks, excellent. As of course the Germans. Maxim wipe, they could also seize that one. That means he's actually up to 3 machine guns, so he's going to just destroy it, obviously. T-34 moving southwards, but yeah, we're down 107 versus 127. Eisernes Kreuz really needs to sum up those victory points very fast here. Got the maximum destroyed. 100 points, in fact less than that here for Eisernes Kreuz. Ambush here for the field gun. Thumbs up to that. 30-34 some 6 right around the corner. 92. 90 versus 127. There we go. Third T-34 some 6 mobilizing for Clora and the Red Army, the 7th Guards Mechanized Corps. Back here, Panther 4 being fixed up. And air reconnaissance here though from Eisernes Kreuz here versus Clora. Looking possibly for another fragmentation bombing run target. Can he this time land a better one, or will it be another waste of munitions against Clora? Going for that field gun. This time almost had there. We also got the packs moving in. Panther 4 thinks trying to exploit this here development. But can Eisernes Kreuz do this fast enough? Of course, he'll also do so while avoiding the mines from those tanks. Defending south is there. We got an anti-tank bombing run here against the Panther 4 and the pack here. Grenadiers hitting a mine here. 2 grenadiers got fat close being wiped out. And there you go. The anti-tank bombing run off here. Panther Force suffers quite a bit of damage here. There's no real support here. The Pack 40 is pointing in the wrong direction. The other one is nearby. And the Panther Force a bit all over the place otherwise. One fact is all the way back at base. Still, he has managed to force back the front line. Clora has been forced to concede the center here, it seems, to his opponent. Now, obviously, Clora is far from out of the fight, but it does possibly allow here Eisernes Kreuz to fight from a more solid, stable position, where he doesn't have to worry too hard about running out victory points anytime soon. Even if he's low, again, he controls these, I think, the 2 victory points here for a more stable position. North here, Panther Force, the T-34 from 6. Some more support for the Panther 4, though, would be quite helpful here for Eisernes Kreuz, Panzerkampfwagen 4, as Clora looks like probably going to try and bait the Panther 4 into a position where he can then swarm it with his other tanks. Using the terrain here to hide out the T-34, but it looks like Eisernes Kreuz T-34 senses tingling and he pulls back. Consuming Force are going to try and hit the Panther 4 with as many anti-tank grenades as they can, but they are halted, thwarted in this by the MG-42 backing up the Panzers. So what will be next here for Clora will be another T-34 from 6. Most likely would be my bet, but he could surprise us. This is starting to look like we could be heading towards a pretty big tank battle here. There's a lot of panzers on both sides. Meanwhile, there we go, large assault here. 3 tanks supported by a tank destroyer here is going to hit here. Eisernes Kreuz northern flank, and it is not ready. Also, crucially, most of the elements in the south here. So this is a really good tactical read up of Clora on Eisernes Kreuz. Grenadiers could almost wiped out that set. The execution of the assault is hitting a few issues here. Some parts are hanging around too much, not pushing hard enough here, making it easy here for Eisernes Kreuz to deal with. This is very helpful for Eisernes Kreuz, but there go the pack crew. Nonetheless goes down. Tanks are arriving here. Panther 4 is now the only thing coming the entire northern flank here. Grenadiers are being force-fed into this unfolding mess here in the north. There you go. 1 team before he gets caught up. He almost got the Panther 4 here. More Panther 4s are arriving. The Pack 40 is also being hauled in here. Probably should destroy that Pack 40 tonight here to Eisernes Kreuz. Meanwhile, the Grenadiers are pursuing here. 4 T-34s from 6 slowly on the way here. Packs, is it being destroyed, or is it the T-34 just looking like it's doing it? I think he's trying. It's just none of his gunners are apparently either drunk or sober enough to hit it. There we go, got the pack there. 4th T-34 almost done here. In the end, Kreuz did only lose a single pack, but even that could have an effect here. Oh, did another Maxim. Well, crucially, it has kind of forced him to like reposition his forces in a way that may be a bit more awkward here. So, who knows what's going to happen next here? Grenadiers in a bit of trouble there. We got 75s of 52. Engineers here for Clora. Eisernes Kreuz. Is he planning a Tiger tank? It does feel like that. I mean, he's not spending resources on anything else. Not like, say, a 4th Panther 4 here, Stugs or Ostvins. And so, if you've got, like, for a Tiger tank, like, say, you got 3 Panther 4s, I'd say that's a pretty safe position to do it from. And he's about to get wiped out, though. He's being forced against the T-34s from 6 there. Need to retreat them before they get wiped. Meanwhile, the Panther pursuing the T-34s from 6. There you go. Eisernes Kreuz makes a fatal flaw here since it underestimates what Clora has in the vicinity. Costing on the Panther 4. The only bit of luck here, I guess, is he didn't try to grab it and actually grabbed it and turned against Eisernes Kreuz. Still, that's a Panther 4 for no gain here versus Clora. At this point, part of me does suspect Eisernes Kreuz is going to be pressing that button for Tier 4 here, the 3rd battle phase, if you will, and then going to go for the Tiger tank based off of that. We'll have to see, though, but we're not seeing Panther 4s, we're not seeing Stugs. Okay, there we go, he does go for Panther 4. Oh, honestly, with that many T-34s and all that, I do think you should be going for Stugs. I do think you should be going for the mighty Sturmgeschütze.
300 points stand between us and defeat.
It's the armored backbone of the Third Reich. Meanwhile, T-34s here need repairs. Another Panther 4, they're almost done. Lots of T-34s from 6s in heavy need repairs for sure here for Clororaa. 75 to 86, more engineers. I mean, with that many T-34s and tank destroyer, you definitely want a lot of engineers to repair them as well. T-34 Suffolk's here, looking to exploit a possible southern gap. In fact, there's a really good read here yet tactically. As again, he's pulled everything towards the northern field. That means the southern half of the map is quite exposed to even a single T-34 from 6. Really solid tactical sense here by Clora. Thumbs up. Fresh Panther 4 they're arriving. They really think you should start bringing some Stug 3Gs to back up his Panther 4s. Absolutely should be bringing in those Sturmgeschütze. mean, we've got more pioneers for Eisernes Kreuz. I think that's also a very good idea here. Also, maybe some telemines. Could be an idea here and there. Fortify on the southern point. T-44 repaired. And of course, the tank destroyed the H-5, which is based off the T-34 chassis as a fun fact. Panther forcing southwards, remaining north there with the Pack 40 as well. 75 is 246. Constant there. Oh no. Okay, he actually retreat, didn't try to go for the anti-tank grenade assault there. That's, I think, is a good bit of luck there for Eisernes Kreuz. Very good bit of luck. And we got a 5th T-34 from 6. We're about to head into a potentially pretty large tank battle. There we go, Panther footing the mine here. Even he's being snapped out of bed here, but still, it's looking pretty awkward here for Eisernes Kreuz. This could go either way now. T-Flips are going for the attack. The Pack 40 is exposed. We got an anti-tank bombing run here. Engineers taking some losses. Tank shows taking losses as well here. But there you go. The Pack is toast. He's going to need that Duke now more than ever. Anti-tank bombing run going off here. Machine gun caught in a hell of a bad position here. Panther Force going to need support moving up. But still, the other Panther Force need repairs. Being just 2 Panther Force versus a number of T-34s, H-5, and a field gun. I think Eisernes Kreuz may have completely misevaluated the situation, and he is paying the price. Good God. His Panther 4 just went up in flames alongside his Pack, which is now dead, and his opponent has 5 T-34s and an H-5 at ace level. This is absolutely disastrous for Eisernes Kreuz. T-34 going for the Panther 4, half health here, not doing great for the Panther 4. He completely misread the situation. There we go. He's done a single Panther 4 versus 5 T-34 76s. He's finally going for the Stoogs, but a fear for poor Eisernes Kreuz. This decision comes too late. He's farming up. He's in a bit of trouble. They can Panther fast, except it's in cooldown, so they can't. They can't. And the T-34s keep coming. It's an absolute disaster here for Eisernes Kreuz. And he's almost wiped out. Panther 4, they're being hauled back. Stuck on the way. Halfway done there, but he's going to need a lot of Stugs against all of this. He's going to need a lot. 75 is 183. Wow, Eisernes Kreuz had such a good hand, but that attack. Yikes. Panther 4, they need repairs. Stuck almost done. So many T-34 76s. That is definitely very, very bad news for Eisernes Kreuz. But he's got the field for another Stug. He just needs a bit more manpower, but he's definitely going to need a lot of Stugs. A lot of Stugs. But will Eisernes Kreuz go for that? It's another matter entirely. And he's straight to the T-34 from series just covered in machine gun fire and high explosive shells. They are quickly routed. Stug moving in here. A lot of shots going in the direction only the H-5 that hits. Stug calls back. Eastside heat gun these versus the 2 T-34s. Again, there's just so many T-34s. Like, wherever he goes, there's at least 2 T-34s. And it's just difficult here for Eisernes Kreuz to make any progress when every attempt he's like trying to move and practically runs into like, several T-34 76s. Machine gun wiped here. Another Stug. Another Sturmgeschütz. It would seem he have finally, seen the light. One true Lord and Savior, the Sturmgeschütz 3 Ausführung G. Alas, it may have come too late though for poor Eisernes Kreuz here. In the face of Clora. Panther's engaged. We got 50 points left for 182. Second Stug almost down here for Eisernes Kreuz and the German army. Almost. Good grab. Yeah, northern pointed with the T-34s from 6. Using the capture a secure mode there. Thumbs up. Countervoting off the troops in the south. You feel going to be moved in. Of course, there's still a lot of tanks. You can just commit to the southern point easy. Second Stug, there's almost an Eisernes Kreuz and the Kampfgruppe Müller. There we go. Second Sturmgeschütz 3 Ausführung G. Gefechtsbereit. Stug running current fire in the center against the Grenadiers, but they're just up against so many T-34s and 6s, and there's like only one Stug for now to support them. The other one is being brought to the front line, but until then, it's just one Stug against 4 T-34s, and an H-85. T-34 charging soft into the Panther Force. Now he's got 2 Stooks. That's a definite improvement here for Eisernes Kreuz. Panther 4, the gaining actually 2. We got 46, so it's on 81. Need to fix up the first Stook here, though. It's not going to withstand much more firepower from the Soviets. Air recons again. Northern point, they're still covered there by the T-34 going for the southern point. We got 46 on 81. Oh boy, it is looking really rough here for Eisernes Kreuz. Really rough. So many T-34s from 6 in the south here. Contrast the Panther 4. Sturmgeschütze in dire need of repairs. Then he's saying northwards, where there's another T-34 they're waiting for them. Stuk's been committed. Clearly Eisernes Kreuz, with only 43 points left, can't really afford to wait around for the Pioneers to, get it sorted out, I guess. Can't fault him. Stuk here trying to take out the T-34 through the ruins of the shed, but the ruins of the shed are not having it. They're absorbing every single shot of the Sturmgeschütze. The T-34 from 6 meanwhile gains the Ace. There goes, shot goes through. Small win there for the German army, down to 32 versus 181 here. The situation is rapidly collapsing here for the German army. Very rapidly. A third Stuk here would theoretically be what he needs. I don't think he's got the time, truth be told. The clock is running out on him. And it's going to Argentina. And it's not, got spare tickets for him either. Fragmentation bomb here, stunned one of the T-34's Gangenier squad here, going for the center point here. Stuk's on the move here for Deutschland. Stuk there gaining veterans, one that's getting hammered. They should 5s. Panther Force trying to support the other Stuk's kind of sort of stuck up there. Almost got a T-34, but it's not going to be enough here. Meanwhile, other T-34s will flank northwards here. Stuk down, Stuk down. 3 points left. 1 point left. Pioneers going for northern point. T-34 blocking it here. Stuk. Yeah, it's not enough. GG, game over here. A huge blow to Eisernes Kreuz. Close fight at times here, but Kreuz at times, I think, tactically had some slight issues there. Clora's unorthodox strategy, I think, also threw him off a bit there, but even then, I feel like there were some moments where Kreuz really had the upper hand, but then kind of sort of blew it a bit there. So either way, I hope you enjoyed this match. I learned something from it. I think it was a fairly interesting and not quite typical meta match here, so I really hope you enjoyed it. Hope it gave you some ideas, maybe some new things to explore. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment. Consider donating via PayPal. Helps me out there a bunch. Links in the description. Or another way to support me is by pre-ordering comments feed. One link in the comments. Use the code STUK3G if you haven't pre-ordered already, of course. And if you have, thank you. Even if you haven't pre-ordered through that link, big thanks to you. And also, comment, like, share, subscribe, talk with your friends and all of that about this excellent video. Cheers, everyone, and see you all tomorrow for another episode. Bye.